Well, guys, it's a Monday afternoon, and I haven't shipped anything since Thursday night. So I have 49 items to ship for $1,860 something. I'll put it up on the screen. Holy cow, we got a lot of work to do. The baby just fell down for a nap, so went down for a nap. She didn't fall down. Let's get to work. All right, so 12 of these have to go first, so we're gonna go ahead and do those first, and then I'll pack those up. We'll come back later, probably much later, and talk about the other ones. Puma Man VHS. When you're looking at VHS, and this one doesn't have it, but look at the real side. If there's white spots there, at least declare it, but if it's not worth quite a bit of money, nobody's gonna buy it. Puma Man vintage semi-horror, I think. This came out of the hoarder house. It's been around forever. I'm not sure how long it's been listed. This is the last, I think I've said this the last several times, that a CSU Rams hat has sold. Levi paid $1 a piece, $1.20 something a piece for those. They're selling for $12 free shipping, but I think that is the last one. The Clips speakers, I took them apart. We sold both the cones to the same buyer. So I got two of these to pack. $93 for free shipping for both pieces. So that's good. And we already made $70 on one, and there's a bunch more of that speaker stuff. Those parts to speakers that have sold. Paid $1 for this. Gilded. It's big enough for me, but I'm not going to wear something with that gold shimmeriness on it. I just don't think it looks good on a dude. On the vintage Disney World tag 3XLT, surprisingly not worth a lot, and so it did have a little bit of value in the unusual size. I paid $1 3, 4, 6 weeks ago, $24 free shipping. This, I don't know where it came from. I've had it, I think I've had it a year because of where it was. It was with a bunch of the retro truckload stuff, which happened exactly a year ago today because it was on my Facebook memories. Illinois Gas and Electric. Sometimes these old hard hats can do well. The old metal ones, I don't know what collectors are looking for. This one is like civil defense kind of shaped era, like just shortly post World War II. Anyway, I wouldn't have paid very much for it. It sold in a year for $18 free shipping. Probably wouldn't mess with that again unless the comps looked real good. Finally sold another Cardinals jacket. I was starting to get a little disheartened, and this one only sold for $19 free shipping, but I only paid like $3 a piece for these jackets. Apex One, which is a decent brand, but this one has a seam split in the back, and it's listed as is, so $20 free shipping. Somebody can put a stitch in that or wear it as is. $20, $19 free shipping. More speaker parts. These are the grill fronts for the speakers. They say the name brand that I can't pronounce, probably a German thing, I would guess. And they are, oh, I don't have the size. Anyway, they're off the KG4s, which is a really high-end speaker from that company. These sold for $127 free shipping. I had them listed at like $149, and they sold in less than a week. So these speakers are the real deal. Like, they're very expensive, they're very sought after, and pieces and parts are doing really well. This I paid $1 for. It's a sealed Dreams and Visions John Paul Jackson. I don't know anything. It looks kind of culty. I don't know. Streams Ministry. Anyway, it's I bought it for $1 at a Catholic church yard sale and sold for $19.99. More speaker stuff. So remember, I paid $11 for those speakers each. So I paid $22 for a pair of big box speakers. And then you just saw that I sold the 2 cones for $100 and the 2 fronts for $127. These 2 8-inch speakers sold for $129, probably free shipping. This one I declared the damage and listed it $10 cheaper than the 3 that were not damaged. Evelyn did this and she felt awful. She did it in the store and she's like, oh no, I broke their speaker. And I'm like, it's not a big deal because it's Dad's speaker. Dad's going to buy it. So you're not going to be in trouble with the store. And it's not going to hurt anything. So just be more careful. But those 8-inch speakers sold for, those 2 8-inch speakers sold for $129. So, I mean, that's $130, $260, $300. You know, wait, that's 120, 130 here, 130 here is 260. Another 100 on the cones is 360. And I mean, it's just less than that. So let's call it 350 in net, and then, or in gross. And then I'd already sold one speaker for 70. So I'm over $400 on those speakers gross, and I only spent $22. That's a pretty crazy pickup. I should have cut them up and sold them a long time ago, but I did not. This sold, one of my 2 favorite shirts sold pretty quickly from that pile of shirts. This one, which is an extra large, no chance it's going to fit me, and that Beatles one. But this one sold. I had it up for like $80, and I ended up taking a $60 offer. That one's going to Thailand. This, I think I posted a video that included a church that's very close to me threw out a ton of, like a handful of furniture and a ton of electronics. And me and the boys went through the electronics and pulled out anything that had a power cord, some things that didn't, things that looked interesting. We basically took all the electronics except for like a couple of ballasts for fluorescent light bulbs and phones that weren't interesting looking. Anyway, this, I plugged it in. It seemed to work. It's in nice enough condition that it still has the wrap on the paper. I mean, I didn't hook it up to my network, but it functioned as it should for something that isn't hooked up. $38 free shipping. And then if they get it and they're like, it doesn't work, I'll be like, here's your money back. But I suspect it's going to work. And then 4 Stephen King's books, hardcovers. I have $1 a piece. Yeah, $1 a piece in all of these, because some of them came from Goodwill and some of them came from an estate sale, but they were $1 a piece. So these, I'm $4 in. They sold for $14 plus shipping. So that's the 12 that I've got to ship right now. Let's do that and then come back and talk about the other, 38. This came from the yard sale where I did crazy good. Shure microphone. This is not part of the 12 that has to ship right away. Super 55, absolute mint condition. The buyer messaged me and said, can you get that out as soon as possible? It's for my wife's birthday. And while I did tell him no, I'm going to try to get it out today anyway. I said, no, it's going to go out tomorrow. If I need to bump it up to priority, I will. But since I'm sitting here shipping, I'll probably go ahead and put that in the mail today. I mean, he bought it on Saturday. It's Monday. But literally, right before I hit record, I heard the mail truck go by. So I'm going to have to drop this stuff off at the mailbox myself. Also, let's talk about something that I screwed up big. And ultimately it's going to be a wash, but it's going to suck for a couple minutes. I lost my wallet, which I'm real hurt about the wallet because it was designed by a friend of mine and he doesn't have any left. I contacted him, he moved away, and I was trying to hunt down any that were sold anywhere. He did really well selling them in Germany, and I was hoping maybe some had made it to eBay on the secondhand market. But anyway, the wallet is gone. I got my debit cards replaced, but when I updated my debit card to be going to eBay, it now I have to verify my ID if I'm going to change how the payout comes out, and my driver's license also gone. So I have to go to the DMV, get a driver's license, and it's going to take 15 days for me to get the driver's license, 15 business days for me to get the driver's license into my hands. So it's like 3 weeks. And I cannot get a payout from eBay for 3 weeks. So I'm still going to continue to make money, but I'm not going to be able to see any of that money for a while. So hopefully I just like make a killing all this time, and I can sell enough on Facebook to have cash in hand to be able to keep buying new stuff and make it through the death pile and buy more boxes and bubble wrap with Facebook money. But hopefully basically it's going to come out as a wash, but it's going to be a while to get to the wash. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm going back to shipping. 7:30 p.m. So much later than we were before. Welcome back to the show. Things are a pretty good day. We had the kids are getting ready for bed. I have 40 more items, and they for $1,175.41. I'm going to be as quick as I can. Dollar t-shirt sale, Alice Cooper 2006. These newer-ish Alice Cooper, I mean, that's new for an Alice Cooper shirt, don't do as well as you think they might. $28.50 plus shipping. If you are marginally familiar with Christian rock music, then you are probably familiar with at least Toby Mac, if not all of DC Talk. And like the Newsboys singer is this guy. I think his name's Michael something. And so Toby Mac, Michael McEwen, and somebody else, DC Talk, they were the biggest Christian rock band in the world, which wasn't huge. They were kind of big even for like, it is what it is. They were a big deal to the early 90s youth group crowd. Anyway, this I got with a bunch of cassettes. It's not gonna lot together well with much, so I listed all by itself for $9.90 free shipping. I need to be less talky. Book lots when you find the books for 50 cents. These are Charlene Harris. This became True Blood on HBO. A lot of nice books. 9 of them puts me in at $4.50, probably 3 or 4 weeks. And that's $18 plus shipping. This I paid 50 cents for like a day and a half ago on the Spoon River Drive. Showed up to a lady's yard sale and she's like, "Oh, I'm not really set up yet." And I was like, "Okay, I'll come back later. How much is that?" "I don't know, 50 cents. Perfect. I didn't go back later. This was all I wanted. Sold for $54.48. Free shipping. I've had it a day. These, I'm not total, I mean, they're VGA splitters, but I'm not sure what a person would use them for. 3 of them, they were in a store that I bought out somebody who was retiring's eBay store. These sold for $12.59 free shipping. In the most, I'm in them for $3, which wouldn't be a great get, but not terrible. Spoon River Drive pickup. I went to a church that had they have a sale every year right in the middle of Hannah City. Space Maker Black & Decker appliances. This is the oldest variety, so it's not super good. Had the screws, and this is the mounting bracket. Sometimes this mounting bracket's missing. The screws are almost always missing. Paid $1 over the weekend. Today's Monday. It sold for $26.10. Paid $2.99 for this Cuisinart Mini Prep. This doesn't have like a number. It's just called a Mini Prep. Really nice shape, $2.99. I elected, normally I would take it apart and sell just the bucket, just the blade, and just the lid. But last time I lost money on the selling. Like, I sold this for $11 free shipping, and it ended up costing me, after fees and stuff, I would basically was at like plus or minus 50 cents. And I'm like, well, the next one I find, I'm going to try selling as a whole. Sold for $19.90 free shipping within a couple of days. But I mean, even if this cost me, I'm still going to be up $5 or $6, and I'm going to do a lot less work to get that money. Vintage Minnie Mouse purse. I paid $1 for this. It has this tag on it, which just kind of screams vintage. Mickey Pals. It also has a little bit of damage on it, and so it's like a, I don't know if it's intended to be for little girls or what. I mean, it's got some vintage, and then she lays down sideways like she's got her head on something. I don't know, it's weird. Odd thing, but I figured for $1, I couldn't go wrong. Sold. I got this at the same yard sale. No, I got this at the St. Anthony, so it's been about a week and a half. $30.60. Bought this tub. I keep doing this because this thing's still sitting here. Full of action figures. This dude, Levi, went through and figured out which pieces go to what guy and what's worth more than $10. And we sold the bulk off for $100, and we sold a handful for some pretty good money. This one sold for $11 plus shipping, often missing the tail, and this one has the tail, so that adds a lot of value. Avert your eyes, children. This dinosaur cartoon t-shirt, semi-Karma Sutra-y, front and back. Paid $5 for this one. Single stitch. There were some listed comps all over the place. There weren't very many sold comps for it. Single stitch, really nice condition. Extra large. Sold for $30. Free shipping. Same Bucket-O action figures. This Prowler sold for $12 plus shipping. West Bend Popcorn Poppery. This was kind of the first bolo I ever heard of. Paid $2 for one and $3 for another at the same St. Anthony's yard sale as I bought Minnie Mouse like a week and a half ago. It has the butter melter. It doesn't even necessarily have to have this piece to be worth selling, but it goes for less money. Some people use these to roast their own coffee beans. So if they buy green coffee beans, these things always work. They're always excellent sellers. $50 free shipping. I think there's only one viewer, Matt from Denver, who has been watching longer than I've had this shirt, who's been around long enough to remember that when I picked this shirt up. When I was doing things. An item that I'm going to show to you, and then I've got another item I kind of wanted to just discuss real quick because I think it's interesting. So my two sales today so far are these two items right here. A Sony, the little tiny house before we had all the kids that I was doing it out of my garage, and it was terrible. The show was really bad way back in the day. Anyway, give me a coffee and no one gets hurt. Single stitch, not a good pickup. Been around forever. Sold for $9 plus shipping. Really quickly, these are vintage IKEA lamps. They are from Goodwill about 2 weeks ago. They might have been on the video that I lost. The way I know that they're vintage, IKEA no longer does this with their plugs. So this is an American plug. This is a universal end that you can plug, that IKEA would, change the end out depending on the market they're selling them in. Paid $3 a piece for them. They sold for like $27 plus shipping. Buyers all in at $40. I probably could have sold them each for $27 free shipping, but this makes life a little easier. And there were a lot listed. There wasn't a great sell. I think they were 50% sell-through rate. So selling them both for $40 free shipping makes better sense to me. It feels like it's a little more productive. Vintage IKEA stuff can do really, really well. But you got to have the right stuff, and a key is a little weird. Chico sandals, the same place as Minnie Mouse and the popcorn poppers. These are not marked for size. I believe that they're supposed to have a mark on the back of them somewhere, but they were marked size 8 by whoever I bought them, by whoever like priced them at the garage sale. Sometimes these kind of sandals will also have it like in the sole somewhere, because that's what determines the size of something like this. Anyway, I paid like $2. Chacos are not doing as well as they used to, but these are bright colors. They're fun. They're still a decent brand. So $19 free shipping out of $2 in 2 weeks. Also paid $2 for this lighter, and before Ruby got it, the box was in really nice shape. It is supposed to be a truck with a lighter and an ashtray, and this has never been used, and it does work. The lighter should sit in here. This didn't come with the lighter. It's not like the lighter would have been Zippo branded or something. So whatever generic lighter you put in it. But then when it's on the table, then this runs, and then when the lighter's sitting in it, then this goes. And it's a wind-up toy. So when you have them both, it rolls across the table. I don't know what the point of it is, but then if it gets to the edge of the table, it stops rolling, so it won't roll off the table. And if you pull the lighter out, it stops. Anyway, there were no comps on this thing. There was one sold at an auction for like $26 free shipping. So I'm like, well, let me do $30 plus shipping and see how fast it sells, even though I'm missing a part that they had, and it sold PDQ within a day or two. Stop and go mobile, thanks, was the note from the buyer. $30 plus shipping. It's got to be free shipping. $30 free shipping. Wii remotes. So like this remote does not say Motion Plus like this one does. Neither does this one. And so these are not super valuable. I paired them with a nunchuck. And this is called a Pro Controller, which is kind of funny to me. You need this to be a professional Wii player. Not that people don't play video games professionally, but Wii doesn't strike me. And is this controller really going to make all that much difference? That's neither here or there. $22 free shipping, plus shipping. $22 plus shipping for those things. And I just found them in the death pile. Red Wings single stitch on this Lee sports tag, which I like quite a bit. This one took way too long to sell. $9 free shipping. I don't know what the story is with that. I mean, Detroit Red Wings are kind of a legendary staple team, and this has got a embroidery on it. You would think that that would have been $15 free shipping at bare minimum really quickly, but it just wasn't. This is a brand I'd never heard of, Chiron, made in the USA. These glasses were $1.84, the same as all the glasses. I really like picking up glasses from Goodwill or wherever I can find them. $33 free shipping from $1 on some glasses. I probably did frames only because while they do have a prescription lens, obviously I can't speak to that prescription. This was in hats that were 50 cents, I think, at a garage sale. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Just a cool piece, not worth much. Filler thing, 2010. $13.90 free shipping. Pretty easy to mess with, which is part of what I like. This here, I made a video the other day. I didn't pick this up. The one that was like, can I make $100 in an hour at Goodwill? And I didn't pick this up for 15 bucks. And then I comped it when I was making the video. And I was like, dang, I should have picked that up. And I went back and got it, and it was still there. So I paid $15 for this. And it sold for $70 free shipping. So that's definitely a good get. This dude right here, we paid like, I think this is the bag that it came in. So maybe we'll have some evidence. Like it has lots of tags on it, but the $2.99 is the one that is on it. We bought a bunch of signed duck stuff the other day. This was one of them. We paid $2.99 for this. Homeboy's driving his boat, except the boat motor should be where he can reach it. Anyway, and this dog that looks remarkably like my dog, sitting here looking out the front of the boat. Not a artist with much caveat at all, but it sold for $25 plus shipping. Buyers all in at $40. A neat piece. Little extra bubble wrap, and it'll ship real easily. Now, video games, Spoon River Drive. I stopped by a garage sale. They had CDs in a dump bin, just a Rubbermaid tote, and they were $1, and they were just the bottom layer on like 4 or 5 totes. And I looked down, I was like, oh, that section is PlayStation games. Boom shakalaka, bought it for $1. Castlevania, if you know, you know. Castlevania for PS1. The black label, if you had one that was a black label like this, instead of being green, it's black, then it's like a $150 game. This one sold for $80, free shipping in a day. And then there's more of those games that we bought. I think there's only 1 or 2 that haven't sold of the like 9 that we bought for $1 a piece. Vintage Craftsman toolboxes with Vintage Craftsman tools. I buy them for $5. I buy them for $30. As long as there's some decent tools in there, you can make money pretty easy. This is made in the US. It's a 3.5 inch, I think. 3.5 inch Craftsman C-clamp. Sold for $17 free shipping. That's a heck of a price for such a thing. Paid $3 for this at the same yard sale as this lighter. And after the woman, there were 2 women running it. One of them gave me the price on it, confirmed that was the price, $3. And then the other woman looked it up and she's like, oh, okay, $3 will be fine. It's only worth $20 on eBay. And there was a used comp for it for $20. That's why I was interested in it. But I listed it for $30 plus shipping, and it sold in hours because that one is new open box. And the sell-through rate's tremendous on these. I think it's from 2010. This is another crank-up emergency radio. And while the flashlights don't do well, the ones that came out in like 2002, 2005, they don't do as well because flashlights aren't as critical or hard to come by. You got one on your phone. These emergency radios are still doing really, really well. And this one came out in 2005, but it absolutely works phenomenally. So I paid $3, sold for $30 plus shipping. Paid $2 for this at the Spoon River Drive, Illinois, Fighting Illini. Nothing at all on the front. Size tag completely gone. This was at the church sale. So this is where I got the Space Saver in the middle of Hannah City. And it sold for $44, free shipping. Those Satin Bomber True Vintage do really, really well. This one I was excited to find. Thought about letting one of the boys keep it. Men's large Nintendo 2004 vintage. Just kind of plain Jane, but still very cool Nintendo hoodie. I thought about leaving this behind for $7.99. And I was like, no, it's going to sell. It's going to do well. $30 free shipping. Pretty cool piece. In the crazy awesome t-shirt pickups, we got this. Shouldn't have bought it. I paid $2 for this one. I only paid $1 for all the other shirts. KAD doesn't do super well. It's just a generic Warrior repeated pattern, like kind of like a Hawaiian shirt. Sold for $12.90 plus shipping. Buyers all in at $21. So they probably paid priority at £1, and I don't imagine that's how that's gonna go. Are you familiar with this star or this lizard and what it relates to this frying pan? Tangled, Rapunzel from Disney. I walked past this at a yard sale. I was like, oh, that's neat. I've never seen Rapunzel toys before. And then I thought, if I've never seen a toy for a Disney movie line before, perhaps that's worth investigating. It makes a sizzling noise. And then if you flip the thing the other way, it makes a noise like you're hitting somebody with a, it. Anyway, and the sell-through rate was excellent. The prices were crazy, considering it's a $2 plastic cast iron skillet. And it sold for $43.19, full asking price. I think that might have been $50 with a $12 or $15% offer. I don't know. I've only had it for a couple of weeks. Cool, rare piece. That's just something to think about. Disney, if you see a Disney toy, you've never seen the line before, it's probably worth investigating. This is not something that is just out there cheap anywhere. So I was like, well, let me comp it. Sure glad I did. These discs we pulled $1 a piece with the Castlevania ones, but the discs themselves weren't great and the prices weren't very good on these. So I listed them at $16 plus shipping, and they sold pretty much right away, probably to somebody with a disc cleaner who can clean them up. If they were $100 games, I probably would have taken them into like Mega Replay, our local game store, and had them cleaned up. But since they were only $20 tops games anyway, I'm like, let me just get rid of them quick instead of spending that time. I got a bunch of shirts from my brother, and we both thought they were all real banging, and we did some horse trading. That is the oldest Walt Disney World tag. So this goes back to like 80. But then it comes up into mid 80s too. So it's not necessarily like a park open shirt, but that's just that classic Mickey single dingle, pretty small, even though it's marked as a large. I would say it's more like a modern small. I put tagged large, and then I always include the measurements. Cool shirt. I would have expected it to do better because I'm a Disney aficionado. I'm a Disney lover. So $20 free shipping is fine for that shirt, but I wish it was worth more. This Affliction shirt, Affliction used to go hard, but it's not really great anymore. This is long sleeve. There's like 90 Affliction knockoffs, and none of those do any good. But some Affliction stuff can still do okay. This has been around for a long time, and it sold for $14.40 free shipping. Picked these up the other day. Super excited to get them, but it's not the kind of thing that I would necessarily keep. Boo. And they're like Mickey Mouse ears, but they're from Mario World at Universal Studios California so far, but they're opening next year, summer of 25, in Florida. Very cool piece, not something you're going to find very often. $2 with the plushies at Goodwill here in town. I was stoked to find them, stoked to get my $22 for them and move them on to somebody who's going to love them. I thought my wife might want to keep them for her Mickey ears collection, but she's pretty particular about what ears she likes. $2 for two video games in that same lot. $24. These are both Oddworld, so same character. I lotted them together because they weren't worth a whole lot individually, 24 bucks. We skipped this license plate. This one only has 4 digits in it. And so sometimes that matters. It definitely matters in money serial numbers. And they're 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that matters in license, in money serial numbers. So I advertised it that way and sold it by itself. I sold for 16 bucks. So maybe it matters in license plates. Couldn't say for sure. I had this in my hand just a minute ago, and I don't know where I sat it down. Muppets, 25th anniversary of the Muppet Show, lunchbox. I got it off of Whatnot. I couldn't tell you what I paid for it. I haven't bought anything off Whatnot in 6 months. $14.78. Probably only listed 2 weeks because it was over there in a death pile thing. I know for sure this does not exist, this Canon, but it still says I need to ship it. I didn't cancel this guy's order yet. But it's worth mentioning. Canon Speedlight. This is a manual for a Canon flash, but it sold for $18. But I don't have it anymore. We found the Muppets lunchbox. This hat, been around forever. Green Bay won some games, so their stuff sells better on Sundays when they win. Old school tag. I think this is Jungian. Just a vintage Green Bay Packers hat. Sold for $10 plus shipping. If you are not familiar with Eva Cassidy, she is a young lady who has just a phenomenal voice. She does vocal jazz. She died of breast cancer in 1994, and she gets more popular every year. Just incredible renditions of like Fields of Gold, Wade in the Water, Autumn Leaves, Wayfaring Stranger. Her own song is Songbird. Her version of Over the Rainbow is incredible. If you like vocal jazz and you're not familiar with Eva Cassidy, what are you even doing? She does jazzy, like lounge singery kind of renditions of contemporary songs, and just amazing. This Songbird is one of my very favorite albums of all time. If you're so inclined, you should check it out. I bought these for 50 cents at a garage sale and said on the video, you guys should buy these and expose yourself to the music of Eva Cassidy. And and nobody took me up on that, so they did eventually sell to somebody else. Paid $4.99 for this here coffee mug a couple weeks ago. Next mug, and anything that has, so this is just a kind of a standard double wall insulated coffee mug tumbler thing, but anything that has this kind of warmer where it plugs up on the bottom, it generally is expensive enough to be worth looking into. There's a tea kettle brand that's like that. There's these coffee mugs, and this dumb thing, you tap the buttons and it still has a charge right now, I think. Yeah, so it turns on, warm, hot, piping hot, off. Cool piece. I paid $5 a week ago. I was shocked to be able to list it for $56 with the comps, and it sold. Very cool piece. Yeah. All right, so yeah, that book isn't going to be found because it was listed on the day Ruby was born. So I ill-advisedly just end and sell a whole bunch of stuff without checking on it. And so every once in a while something will sell that can't be found, but it was listed a year ago when Ruby's about to turn a year old. That's it, man. That's probably enough. I got lots of work to do to get all this stuff shipped. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thanks for following and clicking the bell. We'll see you guys on the next one.